There we go. Well, here we are again. Another day, another set of Mario 35 daily challenges, and whatever else we feel in the mood for. What do we have today? Shell combo of 3, top 15 2 times, and stomp 30 enemies. Well, this is going to be at least 2 normal matches, but that's not a problem. Go ahead and throw in the 6-3 this time. Okay, holding down L, make sure I get my Luigi, and then we just wait for the fun to start. Here we go indeed. As expected, 1-1 to start with. But that's not a problem. So our typical phase 1 of the match begins with building up time. Gotta warm up a little bit. Actually, almost quite literally, my hands are quite cold right now. Try this again. And I suppose I could do my warm-up match before going live, but I don't want my challenges to get knocked off during the warm-up match. Oh well, it's another chance for another drink. Oh, we had somebody disconnect this time before the match started. Whoa. That also occurs to me that it's been a little while since I charged up the Pro controller. I'm at KO already. Yeah, might want to give a thought to plugging the little fellow in and refilling his battery when this is all over and done with. So we got a few people that have already speedrun their way over to 1-2. Okay. Shell combos are good. Bigger shell combos are better. Actually, it would have been super amazing if like 5-1 somehow started out as the first course of the match. Yeah. Okay. That should do it for the shell combo. And I'll still need to... Actually, I'm not sure if I've gotten the jump combo yet. I'll find out in a bit, I suppose. Send a few... Okay, and there he goes. Let's say send a few friends over to our fellows with the lowest time. It's interesting, I've actually gotten used to seeing 3... don't know why that phone does that. Screen just spontaneously comes on for no reason. I'm like, no, I don't need the screen to be on. I just want you to do your camera. Going straight to here, because I don't want to go through that 1-3. Okay, well there was a 3 jump combo. Time's looking good. Just need to get those coins built up. Probably leads to quite a few people's downfalls in the late game when they don't take the time to build up their resources at the start. Time and coins are both things you want to make sure you have plenty of before you get into the end game. And it still kind of weirds me out a little bit. So that 1-up mushroom is apparently not in the original game. I'm kind of wondering at the moment if there's anybody that's made some maps, or rather gone through even and taken the original SMB1 maps and added all of the new stuff to it, just so that you can go through and take a quick look and see where everything is. Yeah, all those hidden mushrooms and stuff becomes even more important in the special battles. Because it looks like the theme in most of them is to leave you pretty good and coin-starved. Like the last couple I've checked out have started with 5-1 as the first stage. And that gives you a nice shell combo. Gets your time up in a hurry. But you're still left wanting more in the coin department. I don't hate 1-3 quite as much as I once did, but it's still not a good level for building up coins or time. Yeah, absolute very best levels to build up time on are ones where you got a Koopa Shell right at the very start, and a whole bunch of enemy spam. So you get a nice, delicious shell combo. And that builds up all of your time in a hurry. Ten coin blocks are the perfect time to peek around off to the left and right side of the screen and see what everybody else is up to. Got 6 players left in the match, so as soon as one more person gets KO'd, the music's gonna get faster. Oops. See, that still worked out pretty well, but not quite as well as it could have. It's just kind of one of the side effects of having run and fireball be the same button, because the level begins and you want to start running, but as soon as you hit that button to run, you spit out a fireball. And if it kills the first Koopa, well, you don't get to start your shell combo quite as early as you would prefer to. So that's one of the things that you want to do after you kick a shell, is to just let off a safety fireball in front of you. Because the shell will be moving faster than the fireball. But what happens is as soon as the shell bounces and starts coming back to you, it hits the safety fireball, instead of your face. Iframes through the Bowser. I'll get the roulette spinning now, just because I don't know what's next. Ah. There we go. Now we're down to 5 players left. Can go ahead and take the skip this time around. Yeah, time and coins look pretty good. Ooh, cheap level. Cheap bridge. Interesting. Oh, actually, I might want to put that back on attackers. I was going to say, I haven't seen any cheaps yet, so it's kind of strange. I guess nobody else has gone to this level, or what? Hello, above ground Bowser. Yeah, that jump didn't turn out quite the way I wanted it to. Come on, come on. Okay, that'll work. Three, 1. There we go. You gotta stay aware of where those shells are. We'll go ahead and roll for that. It's always better to be on the safe side. We've got another... yeah, there it is. Got another 1-up box right there. So that pretty much makes up for the roulette there. Got that. Ooh. Send out some Hammer Brothers. And I'll take that. I've seen a lot of people having trouble with the springboards. What I've been wondering is whether or not they're playing on like a TV or on like a proper gaming monitor. Because I can see that the input delay when playing on a TV can get pretty bad. I managed to come up with the worst possible combination for that when I was trying to figure out the best way to capture my video. So I was thinking maybe I can make do with what I already have. So I got an adapter that will go from HDMI to composite video. And I was like, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that, I'm going to get some Y splitter cables and use that to run it into a AV capture device that I have, and then the other end can go into the TV. The amount of delay that had before the picture came up on the TV was ridiculous, and I had no idea whether it was coming from the HDMI to the composite video conversion, or if it was something else entirely. Because it could be, too, that TV, besides just having a stupidly long delay in the first place, maybe it's even worse when it's over AV. I didn't have anything, like any consoles handy, though, to test it out with, that had AV output, so I could check to see if it was any better with that. I need to get into a good time recovery stage here shortly. Ooh, in time recovery stage, this is not. I'll take the opportunity to send out some Bowsers on the Bowser Express, though, if at all possible. Whew. Yeah, that last jump there didn't feel good at all. Oh, Hammer Brother. Okay. Ooh. There we go. Yeah, time is terrible, time is terrible. Yeah, a bit of opportunity for a little shell combo there. That's how I'm gonna... Yeah, there we go, that's better. I'm gonna pull back a little bit there. So I've already learned that you cannot rely on iframes for anything. Okay, good. Yeah, nice little jump combo there. Whoop. Ah, nuts. Should have started burning those coins. Oh, 2 out of 3 though. Who else is left in the match? We had Marmo and Dead, Mogamra, and Angelo90. Yeah, I should have started spinning my coin wheel there quite a bit more. But yeah, just like I mentioned, don't depend on your iframes. I was just hoping I could make it up to that star though, but it turns out that wasn't the case. At least we'll play after this match. Look at that. Last challenge knocked out, and I could move over to trying the special games out some more. Yeah, just the first phase in the standard mode just kind of feels like it lasts too long. Of course, sometimes, you know, you get surprised. Everybody will just kind of start dropping like flies, and you'll be like, okay, what's going on here? Why is this happening? Yeah. Seems like a lot of people just go and take the underground shortcut in 1-1, but you know, you got a lot of good opportunities for building up at the beginning, and I guess a lot of people just don't realize that coins are really super important. So as usual, this part right here you gotta be careful on, because these horizontal pipes will actually pull you in just based on your momentum. So even if you let go of right, your momentum will send you up into the pipe. So you gotta make sure you stop completely. It's always good to chain 1-2s together if you can, because that keeps you in control of the game. So when you grab the flagpole, you don't know what level is coming next. Unless you got to the level you're at by taking the warp zone, because the warp zone always shows the next 3 levels in the order that they'll arrive in. So if you take the pipe on the far right, then you'll play that level next, and then you'll play, if you take the flagpole, you'll take the level that you would have gotten to if you'd taken the middle pipe, and then after you clear that, you get the pipe, or you get the level that was shown on the left pipe. If I see a particularly good combination of levels there, you know, I'll go ahead and take the rightmost pipe and play it through. But if I don't like what I'm seeing, you know, I'm just going to jump straight to the level that'll give me what I want. So there's a few different kinds of courses in here. You'll have courses that are really good for building up more time. Like 5-1 is definitely one of those. 1-3 is just a terrible course all the way around. It's not good for coins, and it's not good for, of course, that is when the fireball works against you. Okay. See, this time we get that shell combo going. Hey, nice. Extra Bowser gets to go out on the Bowser Express as well. But yeah, you've got that big shell combo at the beginning, and then you've got this star. You see that time gets in a very good position after going through all of that. Bullet right to the face. You know what we have here is what is basically the worst bonus room out of all of them, because you got to do that awkward jump, get into where the coins are. Ooh. Nice flagpole grab, send out a whole bunch of piranhas there. Or not piranhas, Cheep Cheeps. Yeah, time is looking pretty good. Coins, slightly less so at the moment. And we're down to the last 5 players. Don't have red time yet, though. There's actually like multiple stages to red time. So red time, the time does go faster than regular time, but the longer you stay in red time, the faster the time ticks down. So the fastest speed you end up, so like 400, the full 400 will only end up lasting 40 seconds. There we go. It's another thing you gotta be wary of too. You can't get shell combos when Bowser's involved. As soon as the shell hits Bowser, the shell and Bowser both die. Just like how if 2 Koopa shells hit each other, they both die. Hey, nice KO. Ooh, a castle. At least Bowser belongs in the castle, so that feels Oh, hey! KO for the first place win. Not bad. We got 1,900 coins. Yeah, not bad. And a level up. That's pretty good, look at that. So I killed both second place and third place to take that first place win. Nice. Okay. Go take a look at the... Oh, it's over. Huh. Well, that's too bad. I did it last night, before midnight. Because I was like, yeah, it's Sunday, so not really doing a full stream today, but I still wanted to get my daily stuff in. Well, I guess I'll just play a few more of these for a bit before I move on to next game. Throw in 4-1 this time. I want to see that Lakitu spam. I like that Lakitu spam. Ah, I look over here just in time to catch the camera being naughty. Click, click. There it goes. Yeah, I don't have a proper webcam right now, so I'm using an old smartphone and the app IP webcam. So that means my video is going over the Wi-Fi and into the PC. And it works actually pretty well, except for the times when it doesn't. Sometimes though, you know, it'll go for the entire stream without messing up, and other times it just doesn't want to cooperate. I guess it's gonna be fun though. So next time I do a special battle, it'll be a new special battle. So it'll be a surprise. I think for those special battles, it looks like Nintendo... I guess they handpick the courses for what's included on it. Just because it usually seems like there's a specific theme to it. So you gotta figure out what the appropriate strategy is for each combination of levels. Of course, then again, I'd say with the regular 35-player battle, every match you're gonna have to do different strategies because you don't know what levels you're gonna get, because it's all each of the players in the lobby picking out the levels for you. But then again, you can pretty much always depend on there being way too many 1-1s and 1-2s thrown in there. But I kind of go back and forth between whether I like to throw in 4-1 and hope for the Lakitu spam, or throw in the 6-3 for its meat grinder-like properties. Just watch all the players vanish from the room. Yeah, I know the ability just to throw a fireball up would have been a nice addition, but then again, 1985, you know, I guess they need to keep it simple too. Just push the button, get a fireball, that's... a nice thing to have. Good place for paratroopers. Actually, castles are absolutely the reason why you should try to send over piranha plants when you can, because you got those low ceilings. So if your opponent happens to be in here, and they lose their power-up, and they don't have any coins left, there's a piranha in front. Oi, this is a very 1-3 heavy match so far, it seems like. Yeah, you get a piranha plant, and there's not enough ceiling for them to jump, or the ceiling isn't high enough for them to jump over the top of it. They're basically stuck. Ooh, Luigi just grabbed onto the platform there with the tips of his toes. It'd be nice to have some Bowser juggling, but I'm not seeing any Bowsers coming back to me. Actually, I'm not seeing a whole lot of anything coming back to me because I only have the one person attacking. That's a little bit better. See that stuff starting to pile in. Oh, and there's the Bowser. Okay. Yeah, Bowsers on the staircases are a little bit more awkward to deal with because of the way that the fireballs bounce. Ah, we got that. Yep, I see. Ooh. Aw. Well, I tried. Yeah, give me the one I don't need, huh? Well, that'll be the Bowser that got away. Ooh. Yeah. Decided to go ahead and roll that one up now. Really can't be too careful sometimes. So I was just suddenly a little bit confused by the... So on the right-hand side there, that gray square, that disconnect, has that been there the whole time, or is that somebody that actually disconnected during the match? I might look back on the video later. Well, I say that, but I know I'm not going to remember to. Take a look and see what happened. Ah, and now I get to go to the water stage. Actually, yeah, that was not super great. Okay, that works. Try to plow into as much garbage as I can. Actually, should be targeting the... Ooh, I'm gonna be careful with that one. I've gotten used to which note of the overworld theme when it starts playing that again. Oh, well, that's lovely. That works. Gotten used to which note of the overworld theme, where the star loses its power. Underwater, though, I don't. Of course, I don't usually end up in the underwater. Of course, it's too much. I'd say depending on the match. Sometimes if I see it in the warp zone, I might want to go to it on purpose, but other times, you know, I just kind of steer completely clear of that one. If people aren't sending too much garbage over, and kind of like casually go through the underwater course and just kind of pick out all the bloopers and send them over, especially if I'm sending it out to somebody that's above ground, because kind of funny. Above ground enemies, you definitely have the advantage when you're in water, because you can just swim right over the top of them and they stay glued to the ocean floor. But bloopers and Cheep Cheeps are a huge pain when they come in and you're in an above ground course, because this time you're stuck to the floor, but they're going around all over the place. Two, 4, 7, 2. Which one is 7, 2? I want to find out. Ah, okay. I don't know all of the late world courses completely well. Sure, everybody else will appreciate these bloopers and Cheep Cheeps, though. Look at that underwater shell combo. I wanted to send that last one out as well, but I'll let him go this time. And of course, what do we see but another 1-1. Oof. See, slightly painful, but as long as you don't have Lakitu spam going on, 1-1 is actually not a bad place to lose your power-up. Got a nice, readily available supply of additional power-ups to collect, so... Never a good time to get sudden itches. Look right there, right on the other side of the nose. Just take care of it real quick and carry on. Oh, hello, Hammer Brother. Okay. I need to focus on time for a bit. Including grabbing that. Yeah, this is fine. Kind of go through here a little bit more quickly this time around. It's funny, I've gotten used to this, having 3 Goombas here instead of 2. Yeah, I'll go here. Should be jumping on these things, but yeah. Ooh. Hammer Brother, don't mind if I do. It's definitely a good time to be sending Hammer Brothers out, because this is the phase where you do not want to be slowing down if you can avoid it. And Hammer Brothers, you gotta slow down for. Unless you have a star. If you have a star, you're good to go full speed ahead. Dug through this underground section rather quickly again. Ooh. Well, that's not such a big problem now, because we're getting into the point where we'd actually like to start doing... Yeah, we're down... Oh, that's not a good one to get. Okay, 5-1, taking it. Okay, not bad. Chain it right into another one. Ooh, I need to keep that clock rolling. Or that roulette wheel rolling. Come on, come on, come on. Ooh, so close. That one might have turned out a little bit better if I'd actually not had the star then, because then I could have taken damage, stopped the clock, rolled for another power-up, taken damage, stopped the clock. Yeah, but I don't know how much time MCB had left, so that might not have been enough. Let's see, 45 minutes in so far, so do 1 or 2 more matches maybe? Before moving on to a different game. Not looking too bad so far. I've been live for 45 minutes and I only have 58 dropped frames. I absolutely despise dropped frames. Nothing particularly interesting about this match so far. Got an average number of people that have died already, but beyond that... Oh, looks like it's a castle for stage 2 instead of 1-2, so that's interesting. So I ought to be seeing Bowser's here. Back into 1-1 again. That almost ended a little bit badly. So if you're ducking, you can't throw fireballs. So I saw the duck, and I was like, okay, I need to deal with that. And there's the Bowser. Bowser a little fun joyride there. I'm gonna do this way. Grab the star first. And then plow right into his face that way. Players left. And into a 1-3. 1-3 with a Bowser. Alright, I'm gonna wait for that fireball. And then get in there and give him his dose of fireballs to the face. Yeah. Dr. Mario isn't prescribing pills today. He's prescribing fireballs applied liberally to the face. Wait for the fireball. Then return fire. And back to 1-1 again. Really, that would kind of be a neat thing to see on the results screen as well, is what course every single player picked for the match. Come on down, Koopa. There we go. So my time is about as healthy as it can possibly get at the moment. Plenty of time to snag these coins. Oh hey, a 1-2 is finally coming up. Okay. Which I don't need to do that. Time is good. Yeah, nice tasty 1-2. Ooh. It's a little bit of interesting movement there. Fall down into the little pit. Get my nice shiny coins. Slippy slide. More coins. Of course, time is good, so I'm not going to bother with that jump for the flower that's up there. Ooh, a KO. Nice. So, of course, whenever a player gets KO'd because of an enemy that you sent to them, you gain all of their remaining time and all of their coins. Just sometimes, though, it feels like KOs hardly ever happen. I guess it depends on the situation. We get that Lakitu spam going on. But then again, there's only so much that can do. Because Lakitu spam, you know, it's all about multiplication. You send out one Lakitu to 4 people. And then when they kill those Lakitus, you know, that sends out another 4, like, per person, and so you just end up doing a whole lot of very rapid multiplication until you get a whole screen full of them. And although a lot of KOs happen when you got that Lakitu spam going on, I guess the odds of it being your Lakitu that does the KOing is still kinda not as high as it could be. 4 left. Gotta watch out here. So if you take damage while you're in the middle of the jump, your momentum gets cancelled, and that can send you falling into a pit super easily. Nice. Fish right in the... Alright, time to roll this. Roll it again. Come on. Again. Come on. Give me something I can work with. Yeah, that works. Just whatever gets me out of that situation. Oh, okay. Last play. Ooh. Alright. Sneak in here, stop the clock, then grab the power-up. Avoid taking Fire Bar directly to the face. See, I prescribe fireballs directly to the face, whereas Bowser prescribes hammers and fire bars directly to the face. Actually, I know that'd be kind of funny. So in WarioWare, they included a playable version of Dr. Mario, but they made it be Dr. Wario. I'd kind of be interested in seeing Dr. Bowser. It's interesting, too, that it's down to just the two of us and we haven't entered Red Time yet. I'll keep focusing on my coins and my time, though. We're just gonna be juggling these Bowsers back and forth, it seems like. So we're gonna get Red Time anytime soon, or is it just gonna stay? I'm not getting a whole lot of stuff. Well, there's something. I was gonna say I wasn't getting a whole lot back at the moment. Suddenly don't remember what course 2-3 is. I'm gonna avoid it. I'm just gonna stay away from that 8-4 as well. Gotcha. There's that Red Time. Oof. Potentially not worth it. Whoa, 8-4 sandwich. Well. Get down from there, Bowser. Ooh. So I'm going ahead and take in the star here because I definitely need to get this time into a better place. And the 8-4. Okay, not terribly bad. Hey, there we go. Wonder what cause of death was, if he just ran out of time or what. Okay, what do coins look like? Ooh, 2200. That's pretty good. And another level. I haven't broken the 1 hour mark yet, so I'll do another match. Would like to see the Black 2 spam, though. Hopefully that'll happen in this match. I'm just becoming slightly distracted because I'm starting to be in need of unhydration. Huh. Didn't expect to see a KO before I even left 1-1. Yeah, getting KOs on the first level when it's a special battle, and 5-1 is the first course. I see that a little bit more frequently. But not typically in this stage. 1-1 into 1-3. This game's actually kind of put some bad habits in from when I try to go back and play actual SMB1. So this game, you hold down the A button, you get a big bounce off of enemies, but that doesn't happen in the original game. It's funny though, in the original, coins and defeating enemies really doesn't matter. I actually need to load 1-2 in practice mode on here. So I just want to try and see if it's actually possible to do the... obviously Minus Worlds is not a thing in this because it's a completely reprogrammed version. But I'm wondering if the physics are at all accurate enough that you can do... like do the backwards jump where you go through the wall. Oh. I give up on my coins that time around. And bullets in 1-2. What an interesting combination. KO. Unexpected KO again. There's actually a lot more information. Oi! Bullet spam. Things have gotten violent. Sudden increase in gun crime in the Mushroom Kingdom. Ah, and time's completely full too. Didn't even notice. Definitely have to always keep your eye on your time. Just glance up there every so often, see how you're doing, because that's very important for your routing. Keep on chaining these 1-2s together for now. Because I saw in the last warp zone that 5-1 would have been the next course after the previous 1-2, so if I had taken the flagpole instead of going to the warp zone, that would have been the course I would have gotten. But you don't really need 5-1 too much when your time is full. Unless you just want to spam a lot of enemies to everybody else. Another bullet. Visitor. Just keep working on these coins, though. Ah. Went just a little bit too far and got slurped up into the pipe. What do we got next? 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, 1. I'll just chain together. And yet another KO to me. You know, I would actually... Ow. Would like it if, at the end of the game, so you can see the list of everybody that was in the game, and you can see a KO icon so you can tell who all you KO'd during the match. But if I had like a little icon next to the KO with like a picture of what type of enemy it was, it'd be fun to see what it was that you sent to them that actually got them KO'd. I don't know, there's just a lot of little things like that I'd be interested in. Like I keep mentioning, that it'd be nice if the game recorded the last 5 seconds of every single player in the match and just edited it all together so you could actually watch and see what it was that caused each player to get KO'd. You just sort of get that if you watch back your own video if you're recording, but all you can really see is little bitty tiny pictures on the sides of the screen. Two one is kind of interesting actually. It's a rather flexible stage because of the way that it's set up. Ouch. And it's slightly on the wrong side of that Koopa and sent it off in the wrong direction there. Okay, so right here you have a star. But right on the screen, immediately after the star, you've got Vine up to Coin Heaven. So you don't really get to take full advantage of that star. But this just gives you options. If you come into 2-1 and your time is low, you can just skip going to Coin Heaven and use that star to regain some time. But if your time is nice and full, you know, you can just run. Actually, I just kind of forgot instantly what order it was that I said that sentence in. Ooh, that's a nice piranha placement. Anyway, you can pick what it is that you want to get, and of course this is where I wanted to do the shell combo. Well, I have the... Ow. I'm gonna have the star coming up shortly. Ooh, right in the face. Anything but star. Of course it gives me the star. Yeah, 5-1 though, that's the good level to get when you need time. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, so here's something that I still need to get figured out here. So I'm using an Android tablet for chat. It's set up so that it's kind of just underneath my monitor. Don't trust that elevator. Don't ever trust that elevator. So I did the appropriate things to turn on developer mode in the system settings, so that way I could tell it to keep the screen on, at least as long as it's plugged in on the charger. And it does that, but after a certain amount of time, the screen goes dim. What is 7.2? Oh wait, that's the underwater. Yeah. You'd think one of these days I'd learn, huh? Yeah, this is the worst possible stage I could have gone into right now. But then again, maybe the bloopers will... bloopers will get me some KOs or something. Send some bullets, some bloopers, some other goodies along. Roll again. Okay, not bad. Ooh. Hammer Brother. I mean, my coins are fine. I can burn through these, no problem. Ooh, 8-1. Not bad. Chain that into a star. Try to keep that rolling. That works, but I'd rather have it give me a power-up next. This is actually cooperating pretty well at the moment. This is a perfect place for a star. Ooh. Now it becomes slightly more dangerous. Everyone's favorite jump. Ooh, gotta watch out here. Okay. Got the flagpole. 7-1. Okay. And a spicy selection of courses all of a sudden. No power-ups, so I'm gonna keep that wheel spinning. I know the power-ups are hiding in here somewhere, I'm just not sure where exactly. Hey, KO, and then there's just the two of us left. Well, chaining stars together works. I'd rather get into a slightly more powerful position, though. Hey, 4-1. Not in the best position to be appreciating the fact that this is 4-1. Well, okay, that works. Because I wasn't in a good position to be appreciating it at the moment, but... KO for the win. Nice. $1,800 coins. And a level up. Arc Taco? And Catfish in third. It's always fun though when it's KO to second place and KO to third place. Ooh. Alrighty. So, let's see here. I want to switch to this. And actually, I want that to be invisible for a moment. And that to be invisible for a moment. This on.